What's up, everyone, and welcome into episode number 549, where it is my honor and privilege to introduce two special guests joining this episode, and those are LCC baseball players AJ and Parker Vaughn. How are the both of you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well.
Doing solid. Doing really well. Yeah.
Good, glad to hear that. How excited are you guys to get your season started? I know it's a little bit less than 2 weeks away at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the both of us are pretty pumped. We get started here um, in the next week ish.
8 or 9 days.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm super excited. I think we got a really solid team. And I can't wait to go into this warm weather. But I'm really excited to start playing baseball again. So
Yeah, what's nice for you guys is that you get to escape the little bit of the Michigan weather for probably at least a good month before you have to come back and play in Lansing, I'm assuming.
yeah, yeah. We have 3 games out in Virginia. And then we got a game in Georgia, then a few in Mississippi, and then we'll hit up Florida, and then we'll come back here. And about the start of March, we'll start playing games over here in Michigan. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that you guys' highlight of the year, kind of getting the opportunity to play in a little bit warm weather, also kind of go down south too? Because I know baseball down south is a little bit of a different kind of beast compared to Midwest. Not saying Midwest baseball isn't great, but like people truly love baseball down south.
Yeah, I feel like last year, some of the best memories that we made were on the trip down in Biloxi. We really were able to get close with the guys. I mean, I still talk in my room group chat from Biloxi. I talk in that every day. So it's really just the way the team comes together, and it's really cool. Great memories that were made down south.
And I'm sure you guys travel down by bus, stuff like that. Like, what are some of your favorite memories of the bus ride? Is it like, do you guys do like karaoke? Are you just listening to your headphones? Are you just chatting with each other? What are those bus rides down typically like, at least compared to last year?
Yeah, for sure. So we leave at super early in the morning. So I would say the first 8 or 9 hours are mainly just guys sleeping. So not many memories are made there, but
Yeah.
definitely the bus stops. Everyone enjoys going to Buc-ee's and Loves. And the joke is that we kind of always eat at Arby's, which I don't know if that's like the best choice, but we always wind up at Arby's. So we also play Mafia. Normally,
Okay.
all the guys love Mafia, stuff like that. Watch movies, that sort of thing.
Yeah, just kind of an opportunity to get to know each other, opportunity to kind of bond because at a JUCO school like LCC, you only are there obviously for the first 1 to 2 years, depending on just how you do. So like it's kind of a brand new team for the most part every single year.
Yeah, that's true. Basically, every year is different. So the roster, I mean, pretty much half the roster is gone. So you have to adjust a lot and adjust to your competition too. Because one year someone might just get all these stud freshmen. It's a brand new team, brand new competition that you have to face.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that what kind of makes it fun though? Because I know both of you are quote unquote like sophomores in your second year. Is that kind of fun to be a little bit more kind of the veterans, kind of leaders of the team, like having that background of it, but still having obviously the goal of continuing to play in college at a 4 year university?
Yeah, I think our roles definitely have kind of changed, throughout the past year. Last year, there was a lot of older guys, a lot of redshirt sophomores, a lot of guys who have been in JUCO for a while, and we were pretty old and pretty talented. So being freshmen on that team, we weren't, considered like leaders. We didn't have a lot of experience versus, a lot of other guys on the team. Whereas this year, we're pretty young. We got a lot of freshmen,
Yeah.
and due to our experience, we're called to be leaders and kind of show everyone how everything kind of operates. So
And obviously, coming off of last year, like you said, there was a lot of like older guys last year, a lot of kind of veteran guys. You didn't necessarily truly have to kind of be quote unquote the leaders, one of the more veteran guys, but now you obviously do. Like that's just kind of part of being in your second year at LCC. What are some of the things that you've kind of seen yourself grown through from not only your game from last year, but just how have you kind of stepped up as leaders, as truly kind of learning what the leaders did correct last year to kind of try and become those leaders this year, and just kind of how much your game has actually changed since then and as well?
Yeah, I think that the biggest growth that me personally have been able to do is just really trust the mental side of the game and having a process when you step into the box and being able to trust that. I feel like my freshman year, I was like messing around trying to figure out what worked for me in the box mentally and like with cues and stuff. And then this summer, I was really able to find what worked and have a lot of success. So I think that just being able to crack down on the mental game and using it to my advantage has helped me really lead others and kind of share my experience with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Parker. The mental side has definitely been something that I've worked on, over the past year. It's a pretty big staple in our program, as far as mental performance goes. And I'd say I've seen myself grow more as a person and as a man, let alone a player. Obviously, I have grown, gotten a little bit got a little bit stronger, got a little bit faster. Um, but yeah, just growing as a person, has really been one of the biggest things for me, and growing in my faith as well.
Absolutely. I know also another really kind of big thing for you guys at LCC is quote unquote the idea of uncommon. Talk a little bit about like what uncommon means and just how it's kind of like helped you guys and just the whole team like going into this season, but obviously helped you guys to kind of grow into not only the player that you are, but also the person that you're becoming.
Yeah, for me, I think that uncommon just means like every day you're faced with choices and you can have the choice to say sleep in, have the choice to wake up and lift, have the choice to eat McDonald's or,
Yeah.
cook your own food at home. And just being uncommon is making the right choice and doing what most people wouldn't in a way that helps you to better yourself, whether that's physically, spiritually, mentally, or just as a person.
Yeah, I'd say the program itself, is definitely uncommon. I'd definitely say that our baseball team is definitely a high growth environment where we got a lot of guys, learning in different ways. We're being constantly put in uncomfortable positions, doing things, we're not used to, like things like vision training and stuff like that. Also, that like all stuff that are not or is different than most programs, especially JUCOs. We're given a lot at LCC, which we're all extremely grateful for.
Yeah.
And we know a lot of other programs and JUCOs, don't have that kind of thing. So
Yeah, another thing that I want to touch on for the uncommon is I feel like at LCC, the amount of failure that we're accustomed to during practice is huge. We are constantly doing things that is very hard, whether that's hitting off a machine with a heavy bat or a skinny bat or using
Yeah.
the eye pitch that's throwing disgusting pitches, 95, stuff like that. Or sometimes we hit when we're 6 steps away from the machine and that thing is humming. And just learn how to use your resets and keep mentally like focused and being able to have confidence through that failure is just the biggest thing because you're never gonna not have failure in baseball. I mean, it's the biggest
Yeah.
part. It's one of the reasons why baseball is so amazing.
Yeah, and how long did it kind of take you guys to, I don't want to say like settle in, but kind of get used to it a little bit? I know Parker, you specifically mentioned that failure is a part of baseball, and it truly is, right? But like for a lot of people that go to play college, they're the one of the best, if not the best player on their team. Like you're gonna fail, but like you might be hitting like 4 or 5, 600 depending on kind of the high school season. You get to college, it changes a little bit. You're facing some of the best guys that you'll ever face. You're going up against obviously different circumstances. Was it easy kind of adapting to that, like understanding it, or did it take you guys a little bit to kind of get comfortable in the uncomfortable situations that they put you through?
Yeah, I would say at the start it's definitely challenging. I know that we had a pretty rigorous like conditioning the first couple weeks at LCC, and for us as freshmen, that was a lot. But
Yeah.
you kind of learn to manage it, and you just buy into the whole uncommon thing, and that there is a process, and it's not going to be easy. But if you're able to just stack days and win as much as you can through this failure, you just see immense growth, and that's I just think the biggest thing.
Yeah. Do you guys kind of enjoy it? A little bit, kind of those uncomfortable situations now that you've truly been in the program for a year? Or is it still kind of like pushing you guys to get better and maybe not necessarily the most fun situations, but there's probably a little bit of frustration that comes with it too.
I'd say you definitely question it at first, like, especially, like, when you're doing it, like, especially when we got here in the like, our first year, we were doing things that, we weren't used to doing at first, and, we were questioning, like, why are we doing vision training and stuff like that? Like, stuff that, we have, like, yet to do
Yeah.
ever. And, you definitely question it, but you take a look back and you kinda see all, um kind of the experiences that you've been put through, and you've seen how, that's kind of impacted you and helped you to grow and become the player that you want to be. So
Yeah, probably looking back at it, like you said, you kind of see the image, you kind of see the whole picture, but when you're going through that, you probably don't see the whole like kind of idea behind it. But like when you look at kind of the progression that both of you have made, it probably makes sense kind of the steps along the way, even though you couldn't see it at that point.
yeah, 100%.
And speaking of steps, speaking of a little bit of like being pushed, sometimes it makes you question things. Like sometimes it makes you might be like, hey, like am I like good enough? Like am I like worthy of being here? Like it's just one of those situations that obviously like happens. Like failure is going to happen, but I know one thing that has been huge for both you throughout your time at LCC has been you guys' faith. Talk a little bit about just how much your faith has grown and just how important faith is not only in your everyday life but in a sport like baseball when you have so much failure, when you have so much like frustration, when things aren't going well, you can rely on your teammates, you can rely on your faith to not only like get you through it but like figure things out and like not be as frustrated.
Yeah, so my faith is definitely something that's very important to me. I'd even say that I'm nothing without it. I'm nothing without the Lord in my life. He was my rock when I was at rock bottom, and he's helped me grow, and just a new perspective that I have on life is definitely changed, and that also plays into my performance on the field. Um, I refuse to let my identity just be in temporary things, like whether it's
Yeah.
sports or people, and I choose to put my identity and my faith in the Lord. And just even having that perspective on life, I don't ride the highs too high and I don't ride the lows too low. And something that me and Parker have done over the past couple months, I'd say it started in the fall. We're part of this college ministry in East Lansing. It runs through MSU, but
Okay.
being from Lansing, we kind of tag along.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, we are part of this connection group through the church, and we meet with them every Monday night.
Okay.
So I think we might even stop by after this podcast. But anyways, in the fall, our connection group leader was asking us all these questions about, like, like what our team's like and stuff like that. And uh it was kind of pointed out to us that, there's a lot of guys on our team that, wear crosses and have tattoos on their arms of crosses and scriptures and stuff like that, but don't
Yeah.
actually try to walk out their faith or have questions or kind of just question everything. So we kind of I asked Parker, I kind of had this idea. I was like, what do you think would happen if we were to start a Bible study here? And he was all for it. And so we got it started. I think we started it probably like October-ish. And we just do it through Parker's apartment. We'll get probably around 8 guys to come in, and we'll go over scripture together, talk together. But really the purpose of it was to kind of create that community
Yeah.
within our community, within our team, to kind of start conversation and have those tough conversations, those tough questions, um, those important questions, I'd say,
Absolutely.
and to really just hold each other accountable to the things that um, we're called to through our faith.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome. We've seen a bunch of guys come to Christ on our team. It's been really enjoyable, really fulfilling, and it's just brought me a bunch of joy just being a part of it. So
Yeah, and being surrounded by like-minded people that believe in the same things. Like, not everyone on a baseball team is going to believe in the same things. Not everyone's going to necessarily get along 100% of the time, but like this is an opportunity to come together with a group of people that truly like believe in the same things and like have the same priorities. And I'm sure it's been something that has obviously continue to grow your guys' faith, but it's obviously continue to grow some of your teammates. And it's about like asking questions and about being there for other people through the good times, through the bad times, all that kind of stuff. And it's just really cool to kind of see that growth. And I'm sure that specifically has really paid dividends for kind of really how close you guys have gotten as a team.
Yeah, for sure. I think that just we obviously all live together, but that can kind of not be as important as the conversations that we have at Bible study. And it's also kind of cool how we have Bible study on Wednesdays and then the college ministries on Thursdays. So we can kind of plug that too when we have people ride with us to the college ministries on Thursday called Salt. And it's just really fun. It's been great. We're really getting close as a team through it for sure. And helping both of us grow in our faith. I know that we've both made huge jumps in that area of us and just really thankful for it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things of like it'll continue to be something that will be important for the rest of your life. Like there's going to be moments where there's going to be difficulty, there's going to be moments where there's going to be struggle. And for a lot of people, faith is a really big thing through those moments. And it truly can help you not only in your life, but can truly help you in your athletic career as a whole. And I think it's really cool that you guys create a Bible study, get a group of people together that have those similarities. But then obviously, like you mentioned as well, you guys live together, right? Like how fun, how connected, just what is the chemistry like on the team? Just kind of being around each other so much is it's probably pretty fun, but there's probably also some points where people might get on each other nerves a little bit if I would guess, but I'm sure it's probably again made you guys closer.
Yeah, for sure. You explained the dynamic really well. It's amazing just being able to, walk into a room and see 70 of your teammates just watching, say, the football game or the basketball game. And I mean, just this other week, I opened up my fridge. I didn't have any eggs, and I called up my teammate, and in a minute and 30 seconds, I had eggs because it's just that really tight bond that we have. And I know last year I kind of lived farther away in a different apartment than most of the team, and I feel like I missed out on stuff like that. And AJ lives at home. I mean, he misses out too sometimes, but he also comes over and enjoys time with us too. It's really sweet.
yeah, I commute from home. I'm actually from the Lansing area. I live like 10 minutes north, but
Okay.
it's still like a 10, 12 minute drive just to get over to their place. So sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just go over and hang out with some of the guys. Like I don't even need to text them. I can just walk through the door and just greet with a bunch of my teammates and we all have a great time. So
Did you guys watch the Super Bowl yesterday?
Funny story, we actually had an ITS meeting, which is
Really?
Unity training system, and then we had practice last night during the Super Bowl. It's another part of the uncommon piece that LCC has. So no, we did not watch the Super Bowl.
Interesting because I've heard of some teams, especially like Michigan State, like basketball, they canceled their practice yesterday to watch the Super Bowl. But again, that's the uncommon mindset. Is you guys are putting in the time, the effort. Like when most people are kind of sitting on the sideline, sitting at home, you're getting better, and that's obviously been a big reason why LCC has had so much success. You look at LCC's history, right? Like going to college, World Series multiple times. I'm getting really close, obviously, last year. Because of that, is the goal like college World Series or like what are you guys' kind of goals if it's not just solely that?
Yeah, for sure. The biggest goal is definitely making it to College World Series. Last year, we were a game or two short, and it's kind of hard not to look at that year as a failure, especially when the program had so much success early on with Coach Cut and Coach Mo and all the systems that they put in place. So it's definitely World Series or bust.
Yeah, and that should be the expectations, right? Like for kind of like the program that you guys have. I know you mentioned you fell a game or two short last year, but like there's some really, really, really good JUCO schools in Michigan. There's you guys. There's another school in Kellogg. How fun is it competing at the JUCO level in Michigan and facing teams like Kellogg? There's also couple other teams as well. I believe there's one in, if I remember, like a Grand Rapids team. There's multiple other teams around the state.
Yeah, for sure. It's everything. It's the reason that we show up on Super Bowl Sunday practicing. It's what we practice for. It's what we do separation season for. It's what the fall is for, just to compete and be our best version of ourselves come game day.
Absolutely. Love that. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how you guys do this year. I know you have big expectations. What's something that you truly like looking back on? What's something that you truly hope when the season ends and you walk away at LCC? What do you kind of hope to be remembered for your time? I know obviously it's the very beginning of the season, so it's probably hard to kind of look forward to, and you're probably just looking forward to day by day by day. But like, what's something you guys hope kind of like the legacy you leave at LCC before you kind of step on to whichever school you're going to play for next?
Yeah, the biggest thing is legacy. I know I'm trying to leave a legacy. I know Parker's trying to leave a legacy, but I know this team's trying to leave a legacy too. Trying to be one of those great teams to come through LCC, and I know we definitely can be, and that's definitely the goal. And like you said, the goal is to make it to the College World Series. So
For sure. Legacy is definitely something that we talk about at LCC a lot during our leadership meetings. We're constantly bringing up the past teams and the past guys and what they did to have success. And we just try to embody what they did so that we can have the best chance of succeeding as well.
Yeah, and as the season goes on, you'll continue to get better. I'm sure that's probably another thing that you guys are looking forward to is being kind of such a young team. What you guys are going to be at the beginning of the season to what you're going to be at the end of the season, kind of the journey that you guys go along. It's going to be probably fun watching some of those younger players that have some sort of an impact, kind of like grow along the game. And then obviously you guys grow along with your game as well. I think that's also another really cool opportunity, kind of being a little bit young team is grow together and to hopefully achieve the goal of a College World Series appearance.
For sure. I think that's definitely the kind of whole thing surrounding this year. I mean, this good team has a lot of skill, a lot of talent, but we haven't had, say, the experience that the teams last year had, where
Yeah.
of redshirt sophomores, a full starting nine of them, right? So I'm super excited to see how people fill their roles and how they grow, and I think it's going to be truly amazing.
Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to, like I said, seeing how you guys do this year. I know both of you, obviously, the goal is to continue to play beyond. I know that Parker's committed right now. I know that AJ, you're working on that. Hopefully, you get an opportunity. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you representing another school here shortly. But to wrap it up here, I do want to end on this. What has playing baseball meant to you guys? And just kind of give a little bit of a recruiting pitch for anyone that, like, even in Michigan, anyone outside of Michigan, and why they should come to LCC and play at such a prestigious JUCO that has had a ton of success.
I started playing baseball when I was super young. My dad taught me. My dad played baseball his whole life, even played slow pitch softball. So I was around the game a lot. And he coached me all the way up until um, about grade school. And then unfortunately, my dad did pass away when I was 8 years old.
I'm sorry.
But that's definitely a big reason why I still play. I play the game for him. I know it's what he'd want me to do. So, but anyways, I've kind of always grown up in the Lansing area. I went to a school called DeWitt, um, and through my time there, did pretty well. I played on Split Finger, which is a team based around the Lansing area. So I met some guys through there. But as far as recruiting goes, my junior year of high school, I saw a prospect camp that LCC was holding in our facility that we still play in today, Baseball Kingdom. And I went to this prospect camp my junior year. Did pretty well, put up some nice numbers, and our assistant coach, Coach Mo, got back to me within like 2 weeks. Went on a visit and had a solid spring, solid summer. Put up some nice numbers, and eventually I got the offer, and I committed fall of my senior year. And as far as recruiting goes, I pretty much shut everything down and committed. I knew that LCC was a program I really wanted to be a part of. I saw
Yeah.
a couple of great teams, come through the program, and I know that what they were doing was different, and I knew it was a great opportunity to go to develop and hopefully go somewhere in the end. So that's why I'm here today, and I've been nothing but grateful for it. So
For sure. As far as LCC, like this is just an extremely high growth environment. I know that we just grow in every aspect of life. I mean, not just baseball, but in as far as baseball, I mean, we're growing mentally, physically, and then just the biggest mental part of the game that we grow through. I think that's huge. That's kind of a part of baseball you don't really talk about in high school. Like
Yeah.
everyone says, like, oh, we need to focus and stuff, but like, how do you focus when you're presented with failure and stuff like that? So I think that that's just through LCC what you learn about the most, but also just becoming a better person through the systems that Coach Cut and Coach Mo put in place with the organization that they have. It's just really laid the groundwork to be a successful person and live a successful life that in the end I think that we'll be pretty happy with and happy that we went through it.
Yeah, and I know LCC, I know you guys give back to the area as well. Different ways, obviously, like volunteering, stuff like that. So it's much more than just obviously playing baseball. Like, I know it's something that you guys love, but it's also kind of the impact that you've had on the community. I know that obviously you guys are really excited for the season, excited for kind of that impact. But I'm going to wrap it up with one last question. If you had the ability to talk to kind of your younger self, like when you first started playing baseball, first started imagining playing college baseball, what would you tell yourself about your journey? And what's one thing, if anything, that you could go back to that, like just having kind of that conversation? Like, what's something that you kind of wish you knew at the time about it?
I'd say just don't ride the roller coaster. I think there was a lot of times um, in my younger years where I'd let the performance of how I played dictate my mood and my attitude and my emotions, and like don't let that sway me or alter me into the next play. Um, we talk about that a lot at LCC, the ability to respond and move forward and not letting one play fall into the next. And I think I definitely fell victim to that, even all throughout high school, even my first year in college, but especially when I was a lot younger. I just ride the roller coaster. And, that's something that, I can't let happen. You got to be able to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and keep moving forward. So
Yeah.
the ability to respond is definitely something that I've developed over the past year, especially being here, um, and to just keep moving forward. Not letting one mistake fall into the next. So
Yeah, I agree with AJ. At LCC, we call it the performance-based identity. Whether you have success and you're riding that high, and then you get complacent and you crash, and whether you have success that day, you're happy. Of failures, you're mad. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
We call it instead the truth identity, as to where you live to your standards, and that's your standard that you do every day, win or loss. That's just the kind of mental fortitude that you need. So I think I would just tell my younger self to focus on the mental aspect of the game just as much as you're working on your swing and your fielding, because I mean, in that game moment, you just fall back to your standards that you created with yourself. And
Yeah.
you, we say at LCC, you don't play up to your potential, you fall back on your standards. So just the biggest part for me.
Yeah, no, love those answers, and obviously, that those have been big parts of you guys' success. I truly do wish both of you guys a ton of success this year. Wish obviously the team a ton of success this year as well. Wish you guys a ton of success in the future, at your 4 year universities once you guys get there. But I really appreciate both of you joining. Hope this was worth your time. Hopefully, you guys had fun, and like I just said, really best of luck to you guys. Best of luck to LCC this year, and hopefully you are both able to achieve the goal of going to a College World Series and making it back there, and maybe bringing it home.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And that is a wrap to episode number 549. Thank you again to AJ and Parker for joining, and tune in to the next episode.